All right, welcome back to We Play Games. I'm Walker, and here we are about to begin a new campaign series here on Vicky 3, and I'm going to entitle this one Her Majesty's Government. This is going to be a campaign where we're going to be playing exclusively with Queen Victoria, with some stipulations in place. So we have to maintain a monarchy here with Queen Victoria, because of course this is Her Majesty's Government. But we're also going to behave sort of like AI UK could behave, where they're trying to expand and create economic dominance, but not necessarily spike their infamy. And what that means specifically is A, we are not allowed to use the Conquer State CB except against rebellions. B, we cannot use make subject interactions unless it's already on an existing protectorate. We can't do transfer subjects unless it's in a defensive war. We are allowed to take treaty ports in open markets, and we can do an annex subject diplo play against a subject that suffered either a revolution or has attempted to rebel against us. So what this is going to mean is we can't just go around conquering people. We need to go around doing economic imperialism. And so we start here with bankrolling. Oh baby, are we going to do some bankrolling? We're at minus 45k. And so this is going to be sort of a game that's going to play a lot like How to Expand Peacefully, but writ large, while also having some of the flavor of the Tewodoros gameplay, because we're gonna stop the game whenever we lose Queen Victoria. I'm hoping she's gonna make it a long while, because I think that we can do some really, really grotesque map painting with just bankrolling, but we're gonna be smart about it. Man, speaking of being smart, Great Qing here. Great Qing has decided to ban opium, which is just not acceptable. So we're going to go ahead and take a treaty port. We're actually going to take a second treaty port in the south. We're going to take war reparations, and we will liberate Manchuria and Yunnan. In the meantime, we are setting up like a lot of trade networks. We're building some ports. I think we're going to need some more government admin in there. Good. And of course, there's going to be some role-playing-ish aspects to this too. So we're right now suffering economically from the fact that we're not able to trade with Great Qing. And so that's going to be something that we're going to try to fix by using an open market Casus Belli on Japan. So here we've actually created enough trade with the Netherlands that we could create a customs union with them by offering them an obligation. It's good enough for me. All right, and now we're gonna push into Beijing, which means we will have control of the capital, and that'll give us the ticking war score we need to win this first war of economic imperialism in Her Majesty's government. But this is really about the people. That's what we're telling ourselves, at least, right? Once we've captured this territory, we don't even really need to keep marching. This would just be a punitive campaign if we kept pushing it. There I tried to click defend. We'll attack one more time. We'll let Hugo off the leash. We are not allowed to colonize on any colony other than the Gambia if it has the malaria trait until we get quinine. So for that reason, I'm gonna push us through pharmaceuticals to quinine, and then we can start colonizing down here. Our severe malaria requires the level 4 tech. For us, at least. Not for the AI. And now, having taken control of Beijing, we are going to the Chinese to just keep attacking us in waves. This is where our ability to defend is really just going to crush their ability to resist militarily. Now we can use the obligation to force Belgium into our customs union. Same with Tuscany. And of course, keep in mind, as a highly industrialized society as the UK, basically most of the time it's going to be profitable for you to be building a lot of tooling workshops, because you should be using a lot of tooling workshops. This is the Industrial Revolution. Our population is not infinite here in the UK, but of course, as we grow our influence and encourage people to migrate to us, our population will expand. And our very first protectorate managed to pick up Tuscany. Alright, the Opium Wars have been won. Her Majesty's government stands victorious here over the Great Qing. And we are, of course, going to take the Opium Wars Master of Trade, because export trade levels is going to let us really really interact with the world, especially Great Qing. Her Majesty's government has declared that it is important for our national health and success that Japan be opened to trade. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start an open market diplo play here. Up, and Japan backs down. And so now we have successfully opened them. For similar reasons, we're going to go ahead and declare an open market CB against Siam. And now we get to use an obligation here to add Argentina to our customs union. Yep, there it is. Yep, we're going to go ahead and enact laissez-faire here, even without corn laws. Because I think just generally speaking, the money is going to be worth it to us. We really do want to get our investment pool just churning. Oh, Siam, are you going to fight it? That would be really unfortunate for you. Siam backs down. All right, good. And here we are about to get our protectorate on the Netherlands, and it's going to be all thanks to our bankrolling, and it's going to be thanks to having a level 5 military wage here. And of course, we are right on time to pick up the Brazil protectorate. And so now we've had our first rebellion in territory that I feel pretty confident we should annex afterwards. We have a rebellion down here in the Ionian Islands. 1840, and we got laissez-faire on the books. So now we are seriously probably would benefit a lot from moving into free trade at some point, but at this point I think we still need the money from tariffs. So Ionia has failed to hold things together over here, and so we are damaging relations with them, so that way we can annex them. And unfortunately for Mosquito, they are going to have the same treatment. Oh, and they're already only down to loyal, so we can annex subject on them immediately afterwards. Oh boy, and now we get to make a Bolivian protectorate, and the Zulu have become a protectorate. Yep, Zulu has become a protectorate. And now we've researched quinine. Quinine is going to allow us in-game, for us, it'll let us start colonizing some of these malaria states. But we are still going to respect severe malaria. We're not allowed to colonize in any of this territory until we get the level 4 tech here, malaria prevention. And so I wouldn't be surprised if we don't end up colonizing all of South America, because I wouldn't be surprised if we don't end up getting all of South Africa, because we're going to give the AI the opportunity to ninja it here. All right, so we are now allowed to make a puppet out of the Mosquito Kingdom because it did have a rebellion. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And I think I'm going to follow basically the same rules, like everybody gets another reset on their annexation clock if they get turned into a puppet. Ooh, Mexico has sided with Mosquito, and El Salvador, but then Mosquito backed down. Yep, that makes sense. If we did attempt to take the Mexican treaty port, France might intervene, or we could take it in California. Oh yes, I see what we're gonna do here. All right, so we have now picked up a National Guard option here to restore order as Her Majesty's government. Whoa. All right, so we already have an universal suffrage revolution brewing with extreme radicalism. So we're going to need to take some steps to reduce that radicalism. So all we need to do now to avert this civil war is just get the trade unions to be less furious with us. The intelligentsia have a radical leader who is trying to overthrow the government and enact universal suffrage. And he's being supported right now by the trade unions. This radical plague has been spreading in the background, but you know, we are playing as Her Majesty's government. And so we want to make sure that we keep Queen Victoria around as long as we can, which means opposing any sort of radical democratic movement that's going to emerge back here. So our government is still industrialist armed forces. We've pushed our former allies in the petite bourgeoisie out of the government for now. Our laws, we've mostly stuck to the things you'd expect. We have been able to pick up multiculturalism along the way. We are in laissez-faire, which is the reason that the trade unions almost overthrew the government here. But I figure that with laissez-faire on the books, we will be getting plenty of money in terms of our investment pool. And so we should actually dramatically expand our construction here. And there we go. Queen Victoria is going to go ahead and get everybody as loyalist as possible. And we have averted our crisis with our radicals, and now a market liberal is actually in charge of the intelligentsia, which means that they will be much more natural allies of the Peelite Party. All right, I think we're going to pause the episode here. So we've successfully averted our radical 1848 revolution via implementing National Guard. If you implement National Guard, you get your law enforcement up to level 3 through that radical journal entry and out to the other side. So we are working right now on restoring order. We get Home Affairs up to level 3, and we'll be good. I think that's a good place for us to pause this episode of Her Majesty's government. Unfortunately for Cape Colony, they violated the don't have a revolution rule, and they are a puppet at the beginning of the game. So once we've finished putting down Cape Colony's rebels, we're going to go ahead and annex it. But that's going to give us even easier access to the rest of South Africa. And I think it's going to really set us up to grow our economy pretty well. And keep in mind, we've done all of this growth without having declared any sort of wars for anything. We've just grown our market. That's all we've been doing, is just growing our market. And by growing our market thusly, we have set ourselves up really, really well. So like and subscribe if you're enjoying Her Majesty's government, and if you want to see more gameplay like this, because I think this is a lot of fun, actually. I'm getting to explore different parts of Victoria 3, and so if you guys are digging it, then I'm happy to put out more. Oh, but the Ottomans and the Egyptians are going at it, and if the Ottomans can win this one, this will be a pretty big step up for them politically, and we have declared them a rival of ours. We're already up to an expert colonial administrator. I think we're gonna get quite a lot of territory without having any sort of cut down to size wars here. You'd be really surprised. That's Walker. Take care.